Siri ba negotiate a settlement. Rena really city ra re ko bona he. Re kopa in the next 14 days re verify legitimate traders. Re etse show ho ra tseba ke mang o leng teng. Ra re tla etsa in 14 days. Ra re ho tlogela mo re batla hore bao ba rona ba verifyiwe gantle ba qualifier ka re qualification criteria e re tshwanetse o be mo South Africa ka tswa jwale ra re ho bona re tla ba verify mme he Siri le di lawyer tsa bona ba e gana taba eo jwale gwa qetella hore se si forced manje ukuthi sibuyele enkantolo ngoba asizwani ngama negotiation between the two parties.
Bylaw enforcement? We have to have bylaw enforcement. Absolutely. Bylaws have to be enforced. We're a party of the rule of law. There's no point in having bylaws if they're not enforced, obviously. There should be spaces designated for informal trading. Yes, there should be. But public spaces are for the public. Pavements are for the public to walk on. There needs to be places where informal traders can trade, absolutely. But public spaces have to be respected for the public and bylaws must be enforced.
So it seems as though you are agreeing with the government of the day, which is challenging and defending the decision to enforce bylaws and remove informal traders who don't possess permits to trade in the streets.
Are there places designated?
Yes, there are.
Of course there are. So the point is that traders must also abide by the law. The public have a right to use pavements and public spaces, and one group can't force other people to abandon their rights to advance what they say is their rights, but it's actually unlawful behavior.
So the city of Johannesburg was given the upper hand with this madness between the city of Johannesburg and SERI, including the informal traders. If you didn't know what was going on with this whole thing, the city of Johannesburg was taken to court by the informal traders of the city, including SERI, and the parties that were supporting this whole thing are parties like the EFF, as we all know that whenever there's dramatic events that includes illegal and legal immigrants in the country, the EFF is miraculously always available to assist and always available to go extra mile for that. So now the city of Johannesburg has an obligation to register and re-register the ones who were not registered, and also provide the designated areas for the informal traders in the city of Johannesburg. Dumela Kazi, welcome back to the Cafe Libito la KK. If you are new here, welcome, and if you are returning, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence. I am back. I was back a couple of days ago, but I just took a couple of days off because I was just tired. I had to process each and every single thing that I saw in my village. I had a fantastic time in the villages, and my grandmother was discharged from hospital, and she is home getting all the love that she deserves, and hopefully she will come back and be fit and all of those things. But anyway, without wasting any more time, we're still doing the same thing. Please do make sure you like this video. It helps a lot. Comment down below with your own thoughts regarding this whole topic, and also subscribe if you're not subscribed. Without wasting any more time, let's just get into this madness. So the Social Rights Institute of South Africa, which is popularly known as SERI, took the city of Johannesburg to the High Court regarding the removal of the informal traders in the city. As you all know, that the city of Johannesburg has been doing these bylaws, enforcing bylaws for the longest time, and they've been taken to court for so many times. And I hate doing this video that I'm doing right now, because I'm going to be siding with the devils. I'm going to be siding with the ANC, because Johannesburg is under the ANC, and I am so freaked out to even say that the EFF, SERI, as well as the informal traders that took the city of Johannesburg got what they deserved, because the city of Johannesburg said that they want to enforce bylaws, and SERI took the city of Johannesburg to court because they felt like the city of Johannesburg is actually treating the informal traders in a certain way. They are discriminatory things that are going on there, because they believe that the city of Johannesburg removed the informal traders because of illegal immigrants that are operating these small businesses in the city, which was not actually. I listened to so many interviews when it comes to the city of Johannesburg talking about enforcing bylaws, and the videos that were produced online and all of those things. If they had their own agendas that they want to remove immigrants in these business spaces, then it would be different for me. But what I had for me on my side for a couple of years now actually is that the informal traders should obey or follow the laws of the city and follow the laws of the country as a whole. Because obviously, for example, you cannot have your stand in the middle of the pavement where people are walking. Where do you think the people will walk? So SERI now, obviously, they had their court appearance again today, which is when I'm doing this video, it's Monday. They had their court appearance, and SERI says that there is no winner between the two. And I say the city of Johannesburg did win this court case because they have the upper hand. They have to register these people that are traders in the city. I'm going to quickly go through this article just to make sure that I am saying everything that was said in court. The South Gauteng High Court has ordered the city of Johannesburg to accelerate and process of verifying and registering informal traders. The Socio-Economic Rights Institute of South Africa took the metro to court after it removed informal traders operating illegally or outside designated areas. During the proceedings, SERI argued the traders were treated unfairly and that their rights to trade and earn a living had been violated. However, Judge Brent Wanless, whatever that surname is, has ruled the metro is required to enforce bylaws verifying all informal traders in Johannesburg. The city of Johannesburg is to conduct and expedite the verification, registration, and re-registration and allocate of stands. The process shall commence on the 4th of November 2025 and shall be completed by no later than the 18th of November 2025. This is what the city of Johannesburg wanted. They wanted to enforce the bylaws. They wanted to register these people. That's what Dada Morero has been saying all along. They've never said that they want to remove illegal immigrants. We all know that within these informal traders in Johannesburg, there are a lot of illegal foreigners that are actually operational. And we know that there are South Africans that are operating these businesses as well, illegally as well. I have to highlight that there are South Africans who are illegally operating businesses on the pavements in Johannesburg, and they want us to feel sorry for them because they are South African, they are not illegal immigrants, when they say things like this.
That's why they are moving everybody there. And then they said we should go to their office and verify our papers. We went and do so. After verifying, they came back to us and say, no, it's not true. Everybody who's trading in the villas is a foreigner.
Not all be people who are educated in the office. We are in the streets. I'm educated. Yeah, am I?
After all the disrespect the EFF showed to the reporters, such as this one who actually explicitly disrespected a reporter over here. Yes, we might not agree with these media houses in South Africa, but the disrespect from a political party that says black people this, black people that,
Really trying to help us move closer to the other end. Hi Abuti, how are you?
How are you?
Is there anyone to speak to us?
Yes, the guy
How
to
are you?
speak to. Hello.
Thank you so much for your time. I see.
What time?
For your time to speak to us
No,
right
I'm
now.
not agreed to speaking to you.
But can you speak to us because you're here and everyone is directing us to you.
Yeah, you should
But everyone
first
is directing
ask,
us.
what's my name?
I
Who
did.
are you? What
I
can you
did.
speak
I was
about?
going to ask you on air because we are live right now.
Listen, mama. No, you can't just say, can you speak? Thank you for your time
But
when
you
I've
didn't
not
allow
even
me
greeted
to
you.
get there.
Allow
I'm
me
waiting.
to speak to the leadership.
So you don't want to speak to us at the
I'm
moment?
saying, can you allow me to speak to the leadership?
Would you not
Then
like to speak to us at the moment?
No, not at the moment.
That's fine, thank you.
And I want to play a video of Seri after the court battle that they had with the city of Johannesburg, when they are saying that there are no winners between the two. As I said to you, I feel like the Johannesburg or the city of Johannesburg has the upper hand here, and also they won this case fair and square. So now they have the obligation to register and make sure that each and every single informal trader complies, and they must also give the informal traders the designated areas. And unfortunately, they might not be enough designated areas. And this is what I'm saying. This is where I'm saying right now, the people that should be given first priority should be South Africans before it is given to anyone else that is coming outside South Africa. The reason why the people that are from South Africa had problems as well, and to the point that their own informal trade stores, they had to be closed down during the cleanup, is because they themselves, they don't obey by the rules of the city. They don't obey the country's laws. And that makes these people that are coming from outside, they do the same thing. If you don't practice what you preach as a country, someone else from another country will come and do the same thing that you are doing. And I'm not saying each and every South African is not obeying. I am saying that you will find that a lot of these people that are trading in the city of Johannesburg, who are South Africans, they don't comply. We've seen a lot of South Africans that don't comply because of various reasons that I don't know. If you are a South African and you know that you are not obeying by the rules, you need to go and register your business. You need to do the right thing. Because the reason why we are disrespected as a country is because of people like you who are not listening. The people like you who want to actually be left alone doing lawless stuff in the country. That's why we are so disrespected. This is what Seri said about the court case. As I said, this guy is lying.
Speak it, and what's the response, Seri?
Look, as the organization, we are very happy with the outcome. We think that although it wasn't an overwhelming success, but by agreement, we're able to get what the traders were looking for, which is to be regularized. And that is a victory for the traders and the organization, because had it not been for this litigation, we would have found ourselves in a position where traders are forgotten with, as was the city's intention.
In this ruling, is there a winner or loser in this part of the ruling?
I don't think there's winners or losers, but what has won or what came out triumphant is the law. The law does not permit or did not permit the city to remove the traders the way in which they did. And now with this order, that is going to be rectified, and it's going to be rectified on an expedited basis. Come the 18th of November, if that is not done, we'll be back in this court to say that the city has failed to comply with the order of this court.
So, judging by the judgment of the 2013 Constitutional Court, is this part of ammunition going forward to Part B or what?
It certainly is. It certainly is. And remember, even these unlawful removals of traders, the Constitutional Court then declared that it was unlawful, and it interdicted the city from continuing to do so. But the city has done so nonetheless. And it is the reason why the judge has said that he is hoping that this order will certainly be go a long way in putting an end to that court case. But certainly, we need to see the 2013 Constitutional Court order to its finality.
And then what about threats by the government that among the traders are illegal immigrants and they must also be removed or arrested? What's your reaction to that, if you have any?
Well, we have never said that the state is precluded from enforcing its laws. If it's going to enforce the laws in a manner that they're supposed to do so, then that is fine. But threats of just saying that they're not going to regularize informal traders merely because they are not South Africans by origin, that is not going to fly. The informal traders that we represent are here legally. They have passports, they have asylum seekers, and therefore those traders will be regularized, failing which will come back to this court.
Are you able to put your head on the block and say you are aware of everyone that you are representing in this case and that their papers are in good order?
Certainly. That is why you heard the judge referring to lists. We don't represent people in vacuum. We represent people whom we take instructions from and we know. So there are lists of those people, and those are the people that are going to be regularized.
What do you say about the perception that SERI has been going against anything that the city has been doing, from enforcing its bylaws to doing away with people living in hijacked buildings? What do you say about that sentiment?
First of all, in relation to this case, this order by agreement is telling that that is false. Because if that was true, we would not have agreed to the city regularizing the informal trader in the way that it has been ordered in this court. Secondly, on the issue of buildings around the inner city, we have clear laws in these countries which needs to be followed. That paramount in that is the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa. Section 26.3 of it, which states that no one may have their homes demolished or be evicted from their homes without an order of court being made after taking into account the occupier's circumstances. It further goes on to say that no law may permit arbitrary eviction. What the city has been doing is promoting arbitrary eviction, is removing people unlawfully without court orders. And that will not be accepted in this constitutional democracy. And SERI, as a legal NGO, will continue to fight against such unlawfulness.
But when those buildings collapse or burn down, is the city that the government, I should say, that takes the blame?
As well they should, because it is their responsibility to make sure that those buildings are maintained. Those buildings are provided with basic services. You will know that not so long ago, a commission that sat headed by the retired Judge Ceci Kampepe, found that in fact the city broke its constitutional duties by failing to make sure that the buildings are maintained, the buildings are provided with services, and that everyone who lives in those buildings is properly catered for. So it is fitting for them the city to take the blame when something like Usindiso happened, when the building collapsed, because they are failing in their obligations.
So let's just take it back. This whole thing, as I said, it was not about removing illegal immigrants. Obviously, if there are illegal immigrants operating these businesses in the city, they must be deported. They must be arrested and deported. They're not supposed to be doing any business there. And if you go back and check, our laws stipulates that if you want to do business in South Africa, you obviously have to have a certain amount, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 5 million rands. And we do have asylum seekers in South Africa, which I don't know why. We have asylum seekers in South Africa, whereas all the countries that are surrounding South Africa, they are not in some war and civil wars and all of those things. So I don't know why we have asylum seekers, and I don't know why we have refugees. I would understand with asylum seekers, maybe there are people who are coming from the countries like Zimbabwe and all of those countries that says no to gay people and other certain things that I cannot mention all on this video. But refugees, I don't see any war that is happening around us, around South Africa. I don't know why do we have refugees. But anyway, this is a story for another video. But that's why I'm saying, okay, so the refugees and the asylum seekers are able to do business. They are able to operate informal trading. They are able to do the informal trading in South Africa. But the problem started when this guy, Nelson Mandela, and everybody, the lawmakers, everybody with all the ones who decided that this is the constitution that we will go for, and in most cases, this constitution that we have, the Bill of Rights and all of those things, this constitution was adopted from the apartheid government. And this apartheid government was using things like all people meaning that white people coming from other countries, so that they may look like they are these saviors of the whole world, that everybody should come. This happened, it happened during the time whereby a lot of countries would see that there's something wrong with this apartheid government in South Africa, and they were actually barring South Africans from doing business with them. So a lot of laws were created saying that all South Africans, and the ANC and this Mandela guy decided to adopt all that without tweaking some of the things. So when you read about doing business in South Africa, especially in the informal trading, it says all. So that means you have to be legal in South Africa as a legal person, like you've got your permanent resident, or you are a refugee, or you are you applied for a job in South Africa or whatever, all those visa requirements that you have, you can do business in South Africa. So that means when you are doing this informal trading, the 5 million thing falls away. It's just a confusion, a lot of confusion that is happening, because now everybody can come into the country and they can do business even if they don't have that 5 million rands, as long as their visa says that they can work in South Africa. So that means they can do business in South Africa. So the ANC shot us in the foot. The same ANC that is fighting for the bylaws that allowed for this madness, because they are the ones that allowed for this madness to happen in the first place in this country. They are the ones. They allowed it. And now they are taken to court by the very same people that they allowed to do this lawlessness stuff in this country. So Seri should stop lying, because they are lying when they are saying that no one won here. The City of Johannesburg can say, okay, no, you are not allowed to operate this business. You are not allowed to operate this business, or we don't have any designated spaces anymore, so you cannot operate business. And why do we have people operating business on a pavement? Where are we supposed to walk? Where are we supposed to walk? Are we supposed to walk in the middle of the road? Where are the cars going to drive? Do we all have cars? Do we all own cars whereby we're just going to drive without walking somewhere? And who's going to buy these vegetables if no one is walking past by these areas where they are selling? So the designated areas should have these people selling their stuff. Everybody should have a business. We have a very high unemployment rate in South Africa. I'm not disputing that. And I'm not disputing the necessity of having informal traders in the country. But I'm disputing the fact that we're going to have people owning these businesses, closing down the streets, closing down the places that we as pedestrians should walk on. Why should we have people in the middle of the pavement? Why should we have people selling clothes in the middle of the pavement? Selling all God knows what in the middle of the pavement? The people who are South Africans, who are not obeying or who are not following the rules of this country, are the same people that are complaining right now that they cannot do business because their businesses were closed. And the same people that are enabling the illegal and legal foreigners to disrespect the laws of this country. Because if you do it as a person in this country, that person who's coming from Mozambique or whatever, they will do it. And you, as a person, you are not saying anything about it. They know these people. They are saying all the time that these are our brothers and sisters. You know that these people are also not operating within the laws of this country. But you're just sitting there. You're just eating the money. You're just sitting there and you don't have a problem. And the parties like the EFF, in the Eastern Cape somewhere, there are people who are evicted, who were occupying a certain land. It's a chicken farm, and they were evicted. No one is coming to their rescue. You know why? It's because they are South African and no illegal foreigners that are in there. No human rights, no SERI, nothing, no EFF. They're not talking about it. The people are out. Their stuff were thrown out in the streets. But because this has nothing to do with illegal immigrants, no one is coming to their rescue. I cannot go deeper into the illegalities of them occupying the land, but I'm just making an example that the EFF is thriving within the space of illegalities. They love their illegal brothers and sisters. They love them the most. Anyway, thank you so much for watching till this far. Please let me know what you think about this whole thing. I'm glad that the City of Johannesburg will do the most diligence with this whole thing. And I'm glad that the people who are obeying by the law, the rules of this country, will go back and register or re-register and operate their business in the designated areas. I'll see you on my next upload. Subscribe, like this video. It helps a lot. Comment down below with your own thoughts. Have a fantastic one. Peace.